There's something thrilling and exciting about the forbidden fruit. Sometimes we convince ourselves that if we could have that forbidden fruit, all of our problems would be solved. Deep down, you know it should and could never happen, but that's what makes it more enticing. Whether it's your boss, your best friend's ex, or your child's teacher, today on Reaction Reset, we're talking about fantasizing about someone you shouldn't have. It's human nature to covet things we can't have, whether it's a job, a talent, or a partner. So it's important you remember as you listen to this that this is normal. Like, we all have this. You may feel like the more you chase a goal, the further away it gets. And many times this is because when you go after something that you can't have, you're doing it for reasons other than that it's going to be good for you. You may have a low self-esteem. You may be very egotistical. You may have a high vanity score. We see this a lot with celebrities. We may put value in people that get attention, and so we look at people who are busy all the time, make a lot of money, are famous. We start admiring those things. When we get attention from those people, we get a happy hormone that's released. That dopamine actually makes us feel good, and it feeds this whole vicious cycle. Since you don't get that attention all the time, you get intermittent reinforcement, and intermittent reinforcement makes sure that you're going to want it even more. So if you're one of these people that is fantasizing about getting a relationship that is not in your best interest, I'm going to give you 3 skills to start practicing today that are going to help you move through this. The first one is evaluate yourself and your feelings. Human nature aside, if you grew up in a home where you never felt good about yourself, or you felt like you didn't get attention, you weren't noticed, then it's really important to understand that you're going to be more prone to these relationships. You're going to want that attention. You're going to seek that notoriety. And so having that self-awareness is going to help you evaluate it better when you start fantasizing about someone you shouldn't have. An example of this would be if you grew up in a family where you were abandoned by your father. Many times these people will seek out relationships with people who can never love or care for them the way they need to be. Or maybe you grew up and you were chubby and you were teased about your weight, and as you got older, that teasing hurt you so bad and made you so ashamed that once when you were out dating, you started dating people and just going through relationships. What you really need is someone who can love and accept you for who you are, no matter what the outside of your body looks like. Secondly, confess to somebody about what you're feeling who is objective, who has nothing involved with it. The reason I think this is very important is when you talk to someone, you're taking away the secrecy. Anything that's secret will heighten its emotional impact. So once you tell someone and you reduce that emotional impact, you're going to have a clearer sense of what's going on. It's going to be easier for you to be logical about this and to help minimize these fantasies you're having. Thirdly, consider the consequences. When you're overwhelmed with someone, it's like the logical part of your brain is short-circuited. So to readjust that, what you need to do is you need to start thinking about the possible consequences. Let's say you're dating your boss. What's that going to do for your job? Is there no dating policy in your workplace? And what about if you're fantasizing about your friend's ex? What's that going to do to your relationship with your friend? And if the ex is involved with somebody, what's that going to do with their relationship? You don't want to continue a downward spiral because you can't control what's going on in your head. Rarely do affairs turn out the way we imagine they will be. And for additional information on that, be sure to check out my YouTube about stages of an affair. It will be helpful to help minimize this fantasy thought you're having. keep in mind that no matter how tempting, no one can make you whole. That's not their job. You're not half a person, you're a whole person. And it's nobody's job to make you feel good about yourself, and no affair or fantasy can ever do that long term. Happiness is something only you can give yourself. Remember, change your reaction, change your world.